Hey guys, it's Richard at Altfins. I wanted to go over some of the market action that we're seeing in the altcoins, and specifically show you how to leverage the Curated Charts section of our website, which I think, particularly for beginners, is a good tool to find some trading ideas, but also learn some basics of technical analysis. So first of all, on the screener, we can see that Bitcoin is flat today, but it has bounced nicely off of the 200-day moving average. If we look at the chart, which 200-day moving average is a great dynamic support level typically. Okay, so if we look at the chart here, as you can see, it dipped down to that 200-day moving average. It even violated it slightly, but really stayed mostly above it, and we're above it right now again. So that's very bullish. I still think that we're headed back to 60,000, but there is a lot of overhead supply around that 50,000 level. So there's good buying opportunities around the 200-day moving average, and maybe trimming around the $50,000 level until we get a breakthrough. In any case, overall a flattish action today with some exceptions like Luna and Avalanche, which have been a couple of great gainers. But let's dig into some of the curated charts. So curated charts section, we track about top more or less 35 altcoins in terms of market cap. Now the list changes because the market caps of these altcoins change as well. So it may not be exactly the top 35, but they're somewhere in the top 50 certainly. And we update about 15 to 20 of them every day, depending on what's happened to the price. In some cases, the chart and the signal or the analysis is still valid even 3 days later if the price hasn't done anything, right? So we really update these. Our internal team of analysts updates these charts and technical analyses depending on the situation. Sometimes we update them every day. Sometimes we update them every other or every third day. So let's go ahead and go down the list. Now, as you can see here, we show the update date here. We have September 16, so it's about 15 or so of these altcoins that were updated today. We have the asset symbol, asset name, near-term outlook bullish or neutral or bearish. Most of them right now are bullish since we are in an uptrend. And then pattern type or the situation, pullback and uptrend, maybe it's trading in a sideways channel. And then pattern stage, emerging or breakout. Emerging is when the price is approaching a certain resistance or support level. A breakout is when it actually breaks through that resistance or support level or out of that pattern that happens to be most of the time. Even the emerging patterns are something that can be traded. It's not just the breakouts, and we can go ahead and take a look at those situations. So let's go ahead and take a look at the FTX token, FTT. Now FTX, as you may know, is up and coming or exchange that's being very aggressive. It's recently actually raised about, I believe, 900 million in new fresh capital, and they're just very aggressively creating some marketing campaigns and partnerships with various stadiums in the US, and so I think that's partly behind what's been propelling the price of this token to go higher, along with the fact that they have recently announced an acquisition of LedgerX, which is a popular hardware wallet. So if we can look at the chart here, the technical analysis, the price had been moving sideways here. So we labeled that as a sideways channel. Then it broke out with big volume, a big candle here, and then it consolidated in a bullish pennant, and then it broke out of that with really good big volume as well, and now it's consolidating here as well, pulling back to about $70 level, and we think that that's an attractive level here. The $60 to $70 sort of support zone, we think is an attractive level, in part because that's around the prior all-time high level. And so once you break through that kind of a major resistance level, is what it was previously, it turns into a support level. So we think that this is a potentially an attractive entry level or area for this uptrend, and it is an uptrend as we indicate here. The short, medium, and the long-term trends are up. The RSI momentum is bullish now. MACD here is indicating sell. So if you want to be conservative, you wait for MACD to turn around. But obviously, you'll have some lag here. You know, by the time MACD momentum indicator turns to buy, the price will probably be back around $80. And so, you know, a bit more aggressive perhaps approach would be to look to enter around the support zones. It's a bit of a swing trading strategy. A trend trader would just wait for another breakout through the all-time high level, $85. And a swing trader would try to basically buy these dips in an uptrend, right? The prices kind of always go through these cycles of when they go in an uptrend and they move up, then they consolidate, give up some of the gains. Some of the traders are or investors are booking their profits. They think that perhaps the run is over with, and then a new set of buyers comes in and buys the dip and drives the price higher. And so the swing trader will try to basically buy these dips to the support zones. So here's one example. Next one, Axie Infinity, play to earn, obviously very well known, the biggest in the play to earn category with huge revenues. And this one had, again, if you look back to July, huge breakouts and then consolidation sideways, breakout, consolidation sideways. We broke out, but that was a false breakout, and we're consolidating here. We're possibly in the sideways range. So this sideways range could be traded by swing traders, basically. So it's kind of ranging between 65 and 80. So here a swing trader would look to enter the trade around, and I say around because it's never exactly the support zone of $65. It's a zone, so it's a plus or minus a few dollars. So around $65 would be a good entry, and the swing trader would probably exit or trim back on their position around the resistance zone 80. A trend trader would wait for a breakout out of the channel. Ideally, or most likely, it will be a breakout to the upside, after which we could see the price continue to make advances, maybe up to a $100 level. So that's what the trend trader would be basically waiting for, that breakout. Unless they're already involved, in which case they wait, continue to wait for additional leg up. Clearly the trend is an up on the short, medium, and long-term basis, and it looks like the MACD is about to inflect bullish. In fact, as you can see, these MACD histogram bars are improving or starting to rising gradually, which could turn into a full-fledged MACD buy signal. So that's Axie Infinity. Let's take a look at PancakeSwap, what the situation is here. And you can, by the way, it's always good to check also what's the price doing, or if it hasn't moved since this chart has been updated. So you can always look at the overview tab here and check, you know, is this still valid? Has the price moved out or moved away from the point on the curated chart? Looks like this one hasn't. So the chart and the analysis is still very much valid. And this is, again, just our opinion. Clearly, you have to do your own decisions and use your own experiences as well. But here, what we see here is, starting with the trend, it's neutral on the medium basis, but uptrend on the short-term and long-term basis. So more or less an uptrend. It pulled back to that 200-day moving average, as you can see, and very much respected it. So it's bounced off, and broken through back above the $20 level. So it is confirming an uptrend. Being above the 200-day moving average is critical for me. And I think around that range, around that level of 200-day moving average of $20 here is a good entry. And we think that the prices after this pullback in an uptrend and some consolidation could head back to that $30 for a resistance level. So that's Pancake Swap. AAVE, a very well-known DeFi name. So here's an example, actually, if we go back to AAVE, of a situation where the price had broken out or broken above the $400 level, but it looks like it's pulled back below that right here. It's down 5%. So is this call still valid? Well, this is a tough one, I'll admit. It could be a false breakout. As you can see, we've seen attempts to break through the $400 level a few times, and it's failed a few times. And so, this might be one that we would wait out and see if it re-breaks about the $400 level and confirms that breakout. Right now, it looks like a false breakout for now. Let's move on to Thorn Chain. RUNE is a ticker. Price isn't doing much today. It's about flat, up about 1.7%. And let's see what the situation here is in the technical analysis chart. So it is neutral on the medium, but an uptrend on the short and long-term basis. And again, similar to the situation in Pancake Swap, in that it dipped to the $200 moving average, even slightly below, but it's bounced back now and above the $10 resistance level. So that to us is a breakout. It's a resistance breakout and a bullish breakout that we would trade with the idea that it's going to go back to that $12.50 resistance that it's touched a couple of times and got rejected. So that level is clearly seeing a fair amount of supply and sellers, but we are likely to revisit that level. So there is about a 20% upside there. Cosmos, this has been a pretty hot name. Also flattish today. And if we look at the curated chart here, just a beautiful uptrend here. It was basing for a couple of months in May and June, most of July, and the bigger the base, the bigger the pop. So it started making some solid higher highs and higher lows, all signature indications of an uptrend, and then it broke through that $30 level with huge candle and a big volume here, as you can see. So on the way up, we're seeing big volume. So the bulls and the buyers are stepping up. And on the way down, we see diminishing volume. So that means that the sellers are not that aggressive or not that big. And that's what we want to see in an uptrend. Big volumes on the way up and smaller diminishing volumes on the pullbacks. So I'd say this is still just a pullback, not a reversal. And in fact, the price is pulling back to that $30 level where it was a prior all-time high. And I like those. I do think that those are good support areas. All right, let's do one last one. No, small love potion is is a disaster for now. I mean, it's just in a hopeless downtrend. In fact, it's down 12% today. So, you know, we're bearish on it. I wouldn't be looking to step into that for now until really the price tells us that it's finished. It's finished with its downtrend. Chile's is flattish today. Let's see what the situation here is. You know, what we say here on the trade setup here is that wait for price to break above 200-day moving average, which is around 35 cents. So that, as I mentioned in the past, it looks like this is in a downtrend on the short-term basis, neutral on the medium, and uptrend on the long-term basis. It's kind of a mixed trend. So for us, breaking above the $200-day moving average is a critical indication of a renewed uptrend. So we would wait for the price to break above that. And by the way, you don't have to keep checking these charts. So the way to do this and to stay on top of these things is to set alerts. So here in this case, we're saying, hey, wait for price to cross above the 200-day moving average. Well, let's create an alert. This is Chile's. So let's go to the screener and create an alert. We'll say instrument is Chile's. We add that. Then we'll say price is above the 200-day moving average. Okay. Right now it's not, but let's go ahead and click done. And now we're going to create an alert. So the system will alert me when the price crosses above the 200-day moving average, which for us is potentially a signal to buy Chile's. Okay, but it's probably a situation that we would have to revisit and check, but it's a good alert to have that. The other alert that we had there, okay, or the other discussion that we had here, if we click on Chile's and look at the curated chart again, was that we expect the price to head back to 40 cents if it crosses above the $200 level. So we can also create an alert to say, alert me when the price reaches 40 cents. So we've got the coin is Chile's already selected, and now I'm going to add to that filter. I'm going to add saying the price is above 40 cents. Okay, right now it's not, obviously, but when I add this criteria to my filter and click on alert and give it a name, resistance. Okay, that's another potential resistance breakout that could be traded by trend traders. And I save that, and these alerts should show up in my alerts under alerts management here. I've got a lot of them, but here on the bottom I've got a couple, and these are, so here I can manage these, I can delete them or disable them, and the alert notifications will come on the alert notifications tab. And you should also receive an email. And by the way, guys, some of these techniques and concepts I will be teaching personally in our upcoming education series of education webinars. There's 10 of them, and so I encourage you to register. We haven't actually announced or we haven't launched the product, but we have announced it, and it's coming up at late September, or maybe it'll slip into October. But go ahead and register to save your seat, and you'll be the first one to also secure a 20% discount. and you'll be the first one to know when we actually do launch. All right, guys, I hope this session helped in terms of getting some trading ideas, but also in terms of using our platform to make you more efficient and not to miss some trading opportunities. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email us at invest@altfins.com. Good luck, everyone. Thanks.